And now to give you a rounded perspective on this, I'm joined by Mr. Sushil Kumar Singhal, who's been the former senior diplomat. Good afternoon, Mr. Singhal, on the afternoon broadcast. Now, sanctions on 10 individuals and companies supporting the Iranian drone trade. What are the possible reasons for this and how can Iran react to it possibly?
Well, what the President Trump's administration has claimed that, these individuals and entities which are based in, as you mentioned, in Venezuela and Iran, what they were doing was that they were providing the technology and the knockdown drones to Venezuela, which were produced in Iran. And also, they say that, the chemicals which were to be used for the ballistic missiles were being procured by these people, some of these people. And the objective of the Trump administration is that they say that, these kind of supplies were making, they were targeting at U.S. and U.S. interest in USA as well as in the Middle East. And it may be recalled that, this just a day before when the Prime Minister Netanyahu visited USA and had a meeting with President Trump in Florida. There, President Trump announced that any attempt by Iran to, to restart or fabric its ballistic missiles and other armament, including nuclear capacity, will be, frowned upon. And he went to the extent of saying that, it may allow attack on the facilities, and he vowed to keep Iran in check. So I think it's a continuation of what he said. And as far as the Venezuela is concerned, we know that, currently there is a naval blockade going on already. And he also mentioned that, there was a land-based attack by CIA on narcotic docking facility there. And
right. That's a very important issue because this has considerably been the first land attack, this land strike that Donald Trump has also confirmed. It was done and carried forward by the CIA, and later on it was further confirmed. Now, this further, confirms and brings together a very important topic. And as you were mentioning about the first land strike and the possible impact it may have, now the next question to you is that this move also sends a very stern message to two of the countries, not only Venezuela, but Iran as well, with a single shot of announcement, and increases pressure on Maduro as well. What outcome are we expecting, and also will Maduro need more such steps, or is this enough to have a diplomatic dialogue with the US on this, and especially on the drug trafficking?
Well, so far President Maduro is claiming that, he's not involved and there's no, is not concerned with that. And he is even going to the extent of saying these attacks on the boats are unfounded, and there's no evidence that these were carrying drugs. And he claims himself to be against the drug trafficking. And we understand, there's a newspaper report say that there's some off-the-record conversation is ongoing between the two sides. So President Maduro, of course, is acting firm at this moment, and having different kind of cooperation, looking for support from different countries. But of course, he's in a weak position because he has no capacity to fight with the U.S. full might. But having said that, Venezuela is an independent country and it has its own strength. Of course, it has the largest reserve of oil in the world. As far as the Iran is concerned, Iranian president has given a statement saying that, if there is an attack on their capabilities and facilities, then the Iran will give a due response. Of course, they all, this kind of conversation always goes on. But the fact remains, if there is an escalation, I think there will be a problem in the Middle East. But at this moment, I think the President Trump is trying to use the financial muscle and because it will ensure that the Venezuelans as well as the Iranians are kept out of the American financial system, and of course American citizens cannot deal with that. It will be illegal for them. So at the moment, I think he's applying financial pressure more, economic pressure more on these two countries. But he's keeping all the options open. So, what happens in 2026 is very difficult to predict at this moment. It will all depend whether, temperatures cool down and these two sides get into conversation. I hope that they will, and because President Maduro also looking for a way out, because his economy is crippled, they are not able to sell their oil, so they will be looking for an opportunity to sell and get into the integrated with the world economy.
Right. Now, sanctions and strikes both are also causing a currency depreciation in Venezuela. How much of an impact will it have on Venezuela's economy?
Well, at the moment, Venezuelan economy is in very, very difficult situation. As you know, the inflation is very high. There's a devaluation of the currency, despite sitting on such a vast resource of oil, because they are not able to sell them because of the sanctions which are imposed. There, recently 2 tankers were seized by the U.S. Navy, which were trying to take oil out of the Venezuela, and they said it was going to Iran. So Iran and Venezuela are trying to cooperate with each other, but these sanctions are really biting to Venezuela, and they're having a very, very difficult time at this moment.
Now, let's also talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not only dealing with the drug trafficking movement there in Venezuela, but at the same time, he's also sanctioning Iran. And at the same time, he's also helping to mend the relationship between Russia and Ukraine. And apart from that, we know the fact that Donald Trump has had his word on different topics whenever it comes to global diplomacy. How do you see Donald Trump's role here, single-handedly dealing with all these very important global tasks?
Well, President Trump is since he has come into the office in January last year, he claims that he wants to bring peace, and he don't want to put American boots anywhere, and wherever there's a war going on, he wants to stop. And he's claiming that he has so far stopped about 8 wars, but the fact remains that the most important war, which was the Ukraine-Russia war. Which is, when he took the office, he said within 24 hours he's going to stop, is nowhere coming to closer despite his best effort. He has invested so much of energy and effort into bringing an end to this war, but he's not able to, because the difference between the two sides are too vast at this moment, as we know. And when it comes to Gaza, Israel, he's trying his best, but he is still not able to commit to the closure. When it comes to the Israel and Iran or nuclear program of the Iran, though in June we know that he attacked in conjunction with Israel on 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. But as the independent reports say that, the capacity of Iran has been delayed, but it is not. They are not able to finish it. That was the objective of him. And there was a ceasefire with the help of Qatar. So he's trying in his way, in his manner, to stop or intervene wherever there are problems. But because of maybe the short attention span, or his manner of trying to bring an end to the dispute without going into the detail with the reasons and addressing those reasons, I think he's not so far been very successful in his efforts, but he's spending a lot of time and energy on that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sushil Kumar Singhal, former senior diplomat, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on the ongoing developments between US, Venezuela and Iran.